Liberals stab Clinton in the back and send Hillary into a fit of rage, and there's nothing she can do about it, by Barry A. Dillinger for AmericanConservativeHerald.com. You may recall the very rough moments in the days of the Bill Clinton presidency when he was wagging a finger at the camera of the television and he insisted he did not have sex with that woman. You may also recall the parade of Democrats who lined up inside the Capitol building to all show their solidarity for the president and instruct everyone in the audience that they believed Clinton. You may also recall the fake news industrial complex going to the mat for Clinton as the accusations continued to mount. If you were around Philadelphia in the early 1990s and listened to political talk radio right after the WWDB program of Rush Limbaugh and Bob Grant, there was the leftist version of talk radio to satisfy the legions of Democrats in Philly. It was headlined by Susan Bray. I can still recall during the election when Bob Dole was trying to take on Bill Clinton, and Bray was on her radio program to insist that the best reason to vote for Clinton was, and I kid you not, because of his, quote, bedroom eyes. Fast forward a few years, and those so-called bedroom eyes that had Susan Bray braying like a Democrat mascot ended up coming back to haunt Clinton. The famous blue dress and the accompanying stories about certain Cuban products were the headlines for months. Quite frankly, I don't know how that marriage survived. Now fast forward to yesterday, and the New York Times is finding it quite improbable and nearly impossible to locate a single Democrat who can now, in all honesty, defend the actions of Bill Clinton, making Hillary furious. The Daily Caller, the New York Times, couldn't find any Democrat to defend former President Bill Clinton in an article revisiting the sexual harassment and rape claims against him. The flood of sexual harassment accusations against prominent figures like Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein and Alabama GOP Senate candidate Roy Moore has forced many members of the establishment media to revisit the litany of accusations against the former president. In an article published Wednesday evening, the New York Times' Peter Baker noted that he couldn't find anyone, including Bill Clinton, to speak on the record in defense of Bill Clinton. Mrs. Clinton is kept publicly quiet amid the flurry of sexual misconduct stories lately, and his office had no comment on Wednesday, Baker wrote. But other Democrats were not as willing to come to his defense this week. A dozen prominent political activists contacted on Wednesday. None went on the record on Mr. Clinton's behalf. Democrats' public distancing from Clinton is a stark contrast from the way they treated him while he was still politically influential. The former president played a public role in his wife's presidential campaign just last year, including a primetime speech at the Democratic National Convention that was well received in the media. About the best advice you can give to someone who has been accused of these things is, if it's true, you'd best make it right. If it isn't true, fight to defend your honor and your good name. You'll remember what Joe Biden and the Democrats attempted to do to Supreme Court Justice nominee Clarence Thomas with a woman named Anita Hill. The lesson learned from the past are that scandals only become more scandalous when they are denied, even though they're true. Many of those accused of wrongdoing who step down and out of public life end up possibly making up for their mistakes, and they wallow in self-pity, or they decompose slowly over time through denial. The choice to make should always be the right one, even if it hurts. It's better to pull the band-aid off quickly. Bill Clinton has never learned that lesson. And if you notice, this was the inauguration day where he was eyeing Melania Trump. I couldn't believe it. And they caught him on picture. And look at her face on inauguration day. Wow. Priceless. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.